FMOnline.com. Turn us up.
Everybody shout! Everybody shout!
Spark FM.
And Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
Good morning, Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. Good morning, and more Grand Rising.
Rising.
No, it's actually good morning because I do believe that America, well, half of America at least, is in mourning. But Spark FM Online, Saucy and Friends in the morning. We are here, we are there, we are everywhere, waking you up on this Wednesday, November 6th. It is a day. It is a day. I am joined by my wonderful castmates here, Rockstone Triz, Miss Tony B. Knowin, and our special guest, Super Woke Javi. And it's time to be woke. It's time to wake up, people.
If you can.
Good morning. It
was a long night.
Yes, it was a long night. So without getting into too much till we get into, well, just collectively, how are you guys feeling? Quick check-in. Javi, how you feeling?
I could be better, for obvious reasons. But I woke up this morning. I kissed my daughter on the forehead. My wife is good. My family's good. I'm just looking forward right now, to be honest with you. That's all I can say.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Miss Tony?
I'm having a moment. And I think the moment is like there's layers to that moment because one, I was very nervous yesterday, and you're only nervous when you're unsure. Mm-hmm. And so I was very unsure yesterday. However, I had a lot of hope.
Yeah.
And so now I'm hopeless. Oh. And so that's a strange feeling for me. I don't know what to feel. I've been saying since last week, like next Wednesday, we're going to wake up to a new America, no matter what the outcome was. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know if I'm surprised, but I'm definitely disappointed. Disappointed. So anyway, Dadable just kicked in, so.
I feel the same sentiment. Definitely disappointed. I think the country showed its true colors. A lot of people said they were going to do one thing, and I feel like they went in the booth and did the opposite. And, I think that the country is scared of having a woman, and not only just having a woman president, having a black woman president.
Absolutely.
And they voted for a man that has no policies. Zero. You don't have a clue. You don't have a clue about what he's going to do. And on the other hand, you had somebody like Kamala who had all kind of policies, and they sounded amazing to me. And it's unfortunate that this is where we're at right now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell y'all. I'm taking today to literally. And today I was going to be very negative on Facebook, but I saw a post by Super Woke Javi that says, I'm giving you guys till Friday to wrap this up.
Y'all got till Friday, people.
Because we got to prepare for the midterms. And I'm really, I was very encouraged to see you say that, because I think that the problem is that every 4 years we get to this point, because after the election, all of the hype dies down, all of the momentum dies down, all of the energy dies down, and y'all just let whatever happens. And it's within those 4 years, between those 4 years, is when we should be doing big work. Like the things that we see that we want to change, we start with policies, we start with changing laws, we start with asking these ballot questions, we start with the midterms. These are all of the things that after we finish mourning, that we have an absolute duty to get to work. And it starts with the people that we are electing. We're safe here in Massachusetts. Technically,
for now.
Theoretically,
if you don't depend on federal aid, which some of y'all do.
Exactly. So right now, the people that we put in place, I'm looking at the results right now, and in Massachusetts, we voted Kamala 61.8% to Donald Trump 36.1%. And we know that Massachusetts is supposed to be the most racist in the whole country, in the whole world, the most racist. I ain't saying that we ain't, but what I'm saying is that Massachusetts at least know what's up.
I mean,
we've got to keep on. If we want it to stay this way, you guys have got to apply pressure to your local electeds from the cabinets all the way to the governor. All the way to the governor. The governor is our president, president of Massachusetts. Y'all need to ring her out. Whatever you need to do. Whatever. I don't know. I don't even know how to preach right now. I just know that y'all got to get it together. America, get it to friggin' together.
Let me ask, what does the midterms? What is that?
Good question, Javi.
Why is
So
that?
I mean, we have elections, like major elections every 2 years, not every 4 years. And in between the presidential elections, we have a midterm election. We call it the midterm election because it doesn't include, the major presidential election.
Okay.
But it does include a number of Senate, a number of congressional seats that are important. And it can even, it's big enough to even flip the Senate and House. If the numbers, if the people that are up, if the seats that are up work out that way. I'm not surprised that the Senate went Republican. I think that's one of the only things I was confident in predicting, just because that's how the numbers worked out.
Yeah.
The House is still up. That it's too early to tell with the House, but it's looking like Trump is winning with a large mandate, which means that he's winning large numbers, and it's looking like he might have a Congress that's going to allow him to get a lot of things that he wants to get done. And that's
the scary part.
That makes it particularly important that we pay attention to the midterms, right? Because presidents are never as popular 2 years from the time they've been elected. Like they tend to lose popularity, and they tend to lose in the midterm. So we need to keep that consistent with this president.
What do you mean how he lose in the midterm?
Because people, like you say, like we talk. Rockstone talked about policies, but most times people don't win off of policies. People don't understand the policies, and the policy isn't the focus. It's usually popularity. It's usually the vibes you get from the person, right? It's usually how they fit into your worldview of what a leader is supposed to look like. That's how most people judge politicians they vote for. So, with that being said, like it's the reason why this happened. Sorry, I lost track of what I was saying.
Why is did you say why this I don't know.
How do the midterms affect the presidency?
Yeah.
It determines how effective a president can be when it comes to drafting laws. Trump tends to depend, and we know this. I mean, this is unique because he was president before,
right?
So we kind of know his style. He's not the best president when it comes to like working through the institution. So he depends a lot on like executive orders to get things done, right? He never really depended on the Senate or the House or Congress.
His brain doesn't work to think of anything, so he has to outsource.
There's some positivity when it comes to that, because due to it being an executive order, it's easier to challenge those things in courts. I mean, we could talk about the Supreme Court, what that looks like. I mean,
oh boy!
But it also means that when a new president comes in, they can easily overturn those executive orders. But again, Trump is coming in with a larger mandate than he did in 2016.
What does a mandate mean?
So a mandate, it technically means like how much legitimacy an elected official comes into office with, based on the amount of people that voted for them, and based on the institutional powers, like the ability for the institutional powers to help them get their agenda passed.
So with a big mandate, is that good or bad for him?
that's good for him.
So this is what I'm saying. It feels to me
Yeah.
that everything kind of worked exactly how they planned it to work.
Oh yeah.
So their plan was not for Project 25 to be his running plan. It was the plan that was set in place for when he did become president and how things should run. It's pretty much a manifesto of how the country would look like under real conservative Republican rule.
But that Project 2025, I understand it was like a really strong talking point.
Yeah.
But there was nothing in there different than like
Agenda 47.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Heritage Foundation, which was responsible for that, like they were also responsible for the majority of judges that Trump appointed.
So when I was watching a documentary for this with like Leo Levy and people like that, and I was walking in, like this has not been a couple of years that they've been kind of figuring this out. Ever since he lost ever since he got out of term the first time, these people have been putting together all of these things to make sure that they put the right laws in place in order for these things to be able to pass when it was time. The last thing was for Trump to be elected. That way things could pass. What I have a problem understanding is how come people didn't dig into that and see that not that he was associated with Project 2025, but that the people that worked in his cabinet, his advisors and all those people were the people who put this agenda together.
Because it was a feature, not a bug.
So I hate the fact that now, because House or Senate, whatever the one it is stacked for him, he's got a good lead in to be able to pass whatever rules that he wants to pass in. Like, I just don't see how he can be stopped. I'm trying to figure out.
The house is yet to be decided. I mean, elections have consequences, right? Like, I know people don't want to hear that.
We know that, and I think that's why we're so upset is because there are consequences. Like I was just watching, it's not going to necessarily happen today or in a couple of months. It's going to be a slow bleed, and I don't understand why. That's what scares me, the slow bleed that we can watch and see happening. I don't know.
So Trump
feels frustrated.
I don't think I want to say things that are more positive, but
no, just keep it legit. Yeah, I think that's what the problem is. We need to hear the truth.
Trump, I say this before. I probably said this before on the show. Like Trump's racism, perceived racism, and misogyny and sexism. I don't care. We've had presidents like that's horrible things. And good, like he's an old white rich dude, right? That comes with the package. My issue with Trump is that he's just really bad at being president.
Yeah,
which comes with pros and cons depending on what side you're on, right? The pro for us is that in order for you to implement some of these very like wide-ranging policies that he supposedly wants to enact, you have to understand how government works. You got to work through the institutions, and he's yet to prove to me that he has that skill. But at the same time, his incompetency, right, can cause a lot of knock-on effects that make our lives harder, and not just our lives, but like a lot of people around the world's lives harder.
I remember his first term in 2016. Whenever you turn on the news, you weren't watching to listen to what he actually was saying that could be real. It was all entertainment. It was like watching a joke to figure out. And I'm like, why, how, it's 2024. We still there?
I'll say and not just a joke, but just seeing how much he was failing at accomplishing even things he wanted to, like the Muslim ban. It took like 8 tries to get that done. The
freaking where the wall at?
Yeah, like was no. Yeah, it's
somebody was like, well, he did build 47 feet of wall, and then he said he was gonna build a whole wall in the Mexican. Like he never came through on any of the promises that he ever made to America, and we were so friggin' excitable to elect him again.
Yeah.
I know that you have to leave soon, Javi, and I want to get into this is something that we were talking about earlier, like feelings, right?
Yes.
Like what you guys are talking about is facts, but there ain't nothing we can do about that right now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what the people that are listening to us are going through. How this has affected the people who were involved. How must Kamala feel this morning? Can we get into that a little bit? And I know that you said that you wanted to say something.
Yeah,
about that.
I feel like people ask all the time, like, "Oh, why don't you get into politics because of this?"
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, imagine losing, but not just losing, feeling that you disappointed half the country.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Imagine that on your back.
Yep.
As a black woman.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Everything else that comes with being a black woman.
Right.
Now add that. You're the reason why Trump's. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't think. We're gonna hear a lot of bad takes about what happened.
Yeah,
there's gonna be a lot of opinions, and I think some of those opinions are gonna unfairly put a lot of the blame on decisions that she made.
Yep.
Why didn't she go on Rogan? Like,
why
did she laugh less?
Why did she lock up all those black men?
Yeah.
50,000. Why did she go on SNL?
I heard on some of the channels that they were saying a lot of the college students were saying that the reason why they voted for Trump is because they saw Trump on Rogan.
Yeah.
And it's like,
really?
Yeah. So Rogan's had in the past, up to the last week, he's had Trump on, he's had Elon Musk on, had JD Vance on, and the numbers are like crazy.
Like 20 million in like a day.
It's like Trump was averaging 1.5 million an hour.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. And it's like, this is what, and if you saw the interviews, they were crazy. Like, Trump sounded like a crazy guy.
So we say this election and things, let's just explain like Trump's phenomenon, right? Like, Trump isn't a traditional Republican. Like this wasn't, I've said this multiple times, this wasn't Democrats versus Republicans.
Yeah.
It's this idea that you can't trust institutions, right? Versus people that say, listen, things aren't perfect, but we need to work within these institutions to make them better, right? I think that's kind of the split. And that's why you have all these people that you don't expect to be voting for somebody like Trump who voted for them. Because they've bought into this idea that you can't trust anybody in power. Your little
debacle
stalker dude listening to him.
Yeah.
A lot of what I'm hearing from him is pain and like resentment from perceived slights that he's had. Same thing with some of the black men and Latino men that voted for Trump. Like, they think like black women don't have our backs. Whatever. I don't know where they're getting this from.
Yeah.
But that idea is what's driving a lot of this, right? And that's what we need to kind of figure out how to like. That's what I tried to ask Senator Miranda yesterday. Like, how do you speak to these people? And I don't know if anybody has an answer to that yet, to be honest with you.
I mean, in speaking to these people, some of them, I feel like there are some people that are receptive to other opinions, and then there are other people that have their mind made up no matter what you said, because it's a lot of ego. I remember one situation, someone I knew who used to live in a home. They used to park their car like in their driveway all the time. And then when another neighbor moved in, they all of us started parking in front of the neighbor's house. And at that point, you are literally inconveniencing yourself by parking in front of the neighbor's house because you don't want the neighbor to have
just
that.
To be spiteful.
You're just doing it to be spiteful. You don't believe it. You know that it's stupid. It's against everything for you. But you want to keep on doing it because you want to be spiteful, and your ego is telling you that you can't stand down. And I think that's what a lot of the voting came down to after. Like, I've been talking so much trash that I have to vote for him now. And back to just the emotional part of her, I think that so many people, black people in leadership roles, period, whether men or women, go through this same thing all the time. And I do feel for Kamala on a very personal level because, you know, like we kept on saying, America, you had one job, but she probably said too, I had one job. And my one job was to beat this racist, sexist, bigot man, and I couldn't even do that. I can't even, like, people are getting on her for not being able to speak yesterday. I need time. I can't can't talk to you guys right now. I need time. And I feel bad for everybody who's in that position right now, just her. Everybody that's in that position who have to deal with very big emotions and are not able to deal with those emotions in real time.
Yeah.
And I'm sad for America because that's how we're all going to harbor all these feelings. We're all going to walk around very on edge, very annoyed. Like, I cussed somebody out across the street today because my dog ran across the street. He's like, put your dog on a leash. It is on a leash. Yeah. And from there, I went off because why did I go off on him? I'm never going to see him again. He don't know who I am. Everybody's stressed out, and I'm afraid of that stress that people are carrying.
But those are individual choices that we have to make every day, every second. Like, we have to choose to be better, right?
How do you keep on choosing? Like, we're not God. We cannot keep on turning the other cheek while we get slapped. So how can we in real time be able to bring positivity to our situations and still feel big feelings?
Oh, I just want to clarify something I said. I don't want y'all to think that I said her going on those shows with her. I'm just saying that the fact that people went there for where they're going to vote is crazy instead of people actually doing their research.
And just to add on to that, statistically it shows that age group gets their news primarily from TikTok.
Crazy.
And Twitter, it's a mess. Toxic. It's a mess. It doesn't reflect reality in any way. But like, it's hard. That's like the $1 million question. Like, how do you feel better after the most devastating like political loss in your lifetime? Right.
But I want to like to just add a little humor to this. Yesterday, I started watching Idiocracy.
The documentary.
The movie.
The documentary.
So I started watching it and I was like, yep.
Yeah.
Because that's how the campaign was run. I mean, cups of JD Vance semen, 10 packs on your ears, coming to the place in garbage bags. We are a nation of idiots.
Yes, idiocracy.
And it's going to get progressively worse, right? 2002, I think. So you got 2006 or something like that.
Early almost 20 years ago.
Right.
And and it's almost predictive. This is not a random thing that happened.
Yeah.
This is the peak of a trend that's been growing since the 1920s.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And when you ask me what can we do, like, I'm not telling people to pretend to be happy. I'm telling people, learn from your enemy.
Yeah.
How did they gain this much power, right? It is not just like white supremacy and all this stuff was a very strong reason that they were able to do that. But there is a playbook, right? What ends up happening, these kids from the Midwest and these like really red towns, they come to our cities, our blue cities. They come to school here, they stay here, they grow their families here.
Okay.
That does nothing to help the state of our political climate. What people need to do, we need to start this is what they did. They migrated, not necessarily because they needed to, but because they want to spread their political ideology.
But that's what
over generations, them having kids, like these rural areas, these people are popping kids out like crazy. And they've been doing that for years, right? And you see that when these populations come out of nowhere, right? Like, we gotta be more strategic. We gotta think long term. And when I say long term, I'm talking generational. This is why I don't blame the Jill Stein voters, right? And I don't hate them because there's nothing wrong with being against genocide, right? Everybody should be against genocide. But my issue with them is that they're such short-term thinkers. If they don't get what they want now, F it, I'm burning the whole system down. I don't care.
Playing the long game.
Right? I don't care. Play the long game, bro. Move to friggin' move to Mississippi, right?
Yeah.
Like, move into these areas, get a group of friends, buy some property, own some businesses there, become friends with the people that live there, let them see who we really are.
I think this might be the beginning of your preaching career. You were going to have after you lived your life.
But I do think, say the words. I'm glad that you said that because I do think from these things, like you said, elections have consequences, but they also, we were talking earlier offline about how these could be very magical moments for different groups of people. For the next group of elected officials and the next group of presidents and senators and congressmen and blah, 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 they are now awakened. Like, if they do not step up, things are going to continue to go this way. And when I asked a Trump supporter the other day, is this the best that we can do? He was like, maybe it's not the best we can do, but it's the best we have right now. No, I believe that there's a better Republican out there somewhere.
Oh,
like, I believe that there's a better Democrats out there. I believe that there's more Obamas and more Kamala Harris. I need these people to really feel, I want them to feel the heaviest burden, not necessarily you, because you know you old and you got a baby now and things like that. But
I will punch people every day.
You're a big voice here on media, you know, like, so I'm hoping that there's a lot more passion that is birthed from this election that makes the next 4 years not so hard to figure out who is going to be for us and why was it so close?
It's again, like I said, if it was a regular Republican versus Democrat contest, there's more Democrats and Republicans in this country that vote, but it's not. It's an idea that's been growing for years. It's this idea that you see on Twitter and Facebook. It's like, oh, I can't trust people. There's no politician I can trust.
Carlos is in the comments. He said, "A nation of idiots is accurate and by design." Simple.
You know, Carlos, you could call in too. Wait, hold on. Let's just do a pause here because I want to get to some of the election results that actually have something to do with us here in Massachusetts.
Yes.
So the questions, we had 5 questions yesterday. It was interesting. So the first one, question 1 passed, and that was to authorize the state auditor to audit the state legislature.
Oh, good.
And remove some existing regulations regarding the auditing process. So, you know, more transparency in the government. Yep. We need it right now.
Can we put some nuance on these?
Yes, please.
I was a little iffy about that only because the legislature still has a wide latitude, I think, to determine, like, they're gonna have to negotiate what can actually be investigated and looked at from the auditor. So like it doesn't give the auditor like carte blanche to do whatever they want yet. This is going to be a negotiation process.
Okay.
Just so you guys know.
Thank you. I love that.
Not as simple.
Yeah.
Question 2: eliminate the requirements that student pass the standard-based MCAS exam to graduate high school. That pass MCAS are over.
Oh, really?
It did pass. It did pass.
Add a little bit nuance to that.
Go right ahead.
Students will still have to meet state what's the word? Benchmarks.
Oh,
right. And so without that test, I'm curious to see how they determine how benchmarks are being met.
It's time to get creative, and it will test those benchmarks. I think Carlos stated it before. Those things should be, like put together so that you are teaching the accurate information across the board, and that both teachers and students are now being evaluated based on those benchmarks. So,
and parents, you're still gonna struggle. You're gonna be struggling with math with your kids. Trust me, it's still gonna be an issue.
I mean, Noah read us about an 18-chapter book yesterday on what's it long?
Carol Harris. I don't know.
Man,
I have no
he
idea.
read that book. We know so much about this lady. I do not remember.
She was one of the first Black women that became a pilot. She went over to France and she got trained, and she came back. She used to be doing air shows and stuff. And she was always, like she started off as a barber because she used to pick cotton. We got into the story. Anyhow,
that boy better get better grades than
it was a sad ending.
He need to be at Harvard.
It was a sad
Y'all go read about that lady. It was amazing.
So question 3. Provided for unionization and collective bargaining for transportation workers, Ubers and Lyft. That passed too, right?
Yes.
It doesn't. Okay. Yep.
Okay.
54%.
You do.
I did. I had to depend on Uber for a long time, especially when I was in school.
Yeah,
and it was probably one of the hardest jobs I've ever had in my life.
Really?
Bessie Coleman.
Yeah. Bessie Coleman.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
But I don't know about this union thing. That one of the benefits of Uber is if you need money right now, and these you can just go in the app, pass a background check, do it, boom,
and just go again. Yeah.
I'm not sure if there's any complexity that's going to be added because of a union. I don't know if it's going to be harder. Like it's going to be harder to make.
They said that price and fares may go up with that result.
I'm not worried about that. I mean, I think you should pay for. You should pay for. People don't be tipping. People don't be tipping your Uber drivers.
$32 an hour.
For what?
For Uber drivers.
I was averaging something like that. I was averaging $32 an hour.
Oh yeah,
But
that's
keep in mind, I was making good money when I was in school, but I was literally I was in class I was Ubering to class, Ubering from class, Ubering home, working 7 days a week just to make a decent amount of money. Right. And that $32 an hour is only reflected when you're on a ride. It doesn't reflect you waiting for somebody. You know what I'm saying? So it's I voted yes on that. But we'll see what happens.
Question 4: Allow persons 21 years or older to grow, possess, and use natural psychedelic substances, as well as establish a commission to regulate the licenses of psychedelic substances and services. Did not pass. You cannot grow shrooms. You cannot take shrooms legally here in Massachusetts. Behave yourselves.
It's rude because we need it. It's
crazy.
Where will people ever get their shrooms from?
I thought all the hippies live here.
What's happening?
Jamaica played, it probably passed.
I honestly blame the implementation of the weed legalization law in this state.
Why?
Because it's a weak image of what it should have been.
Oh, touche.
Right?
Yeah.
The fact that so many people of color have struggled, lost lost money, probably lost their homes, all types of stuff, trying to break into the marijuana industry, even though it was supposed to be easy for us to do it.
Social,
Honestly, I don't trust the state in these measures. So you know what? I guarantee you, people are gonna be able to get shrooms still.
They can get shrooms now.
They've been getting them.
Exactly.
So that's nothing.
And you ain't going to jail for them. So
exactly. And then question 5: Increase the minimum wage for tip employees to meet the state standardized minimum wage. That did not pass. So question 5 did not pass. They are still making $6.75, I believe, an hour, and y'all better tip those people accordingly because they are fighting for their wages.
Yeah, facts.
That was 64%.
Yeah.
I don't know. From what my understanding is, I'm not sure why they can't get more minimum wage and still get their tips. But okay.
Nah, this is a weird. Who even put this ballot on the question? No waiter, anybody that works for tips I know supported this.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. You're right. I did hear a lot of people that on the news when they did stories.
So I love you guys. I gotta go, but I'll just say this: I hate ballot questions because it takes away the job that we elected officials to do. I think it's a sign of cowardness because they're afraid to touch these issues and they put it on us, even though we don't know anything about this crap.
Okay.
And I'm just saying, people stay hopeful.
Yeah, you're right. It's like, what that got to do with me?
Yeah, I don't, bro. I don't care.
Ask the drivers. Ask the waiters. I don't give a damn.
Like, I felt guilty. Like, if I choose no, you ain't gonna get. But and just stay hopeful, people, man. Like, it's not the end of the world. We still live in the greatest, most prosperous, most productive country in the world.
We used to until yesterday.
Until January. Until January.
Right, exactly.
And like I said before, listen, if gas prices aren't 99 cents a gallon, if interest rates aren't at an all-time low, if there isn't peace in the Middle East, if Russia doesn't shake hands with Ukraine,
and if there's not an immediate ceasefire,
I am egging every Trump supporter's car I see because y'all are all capped. All right, I'm out.
Bye.
And then other Boston ballot results. I can't necessarily. Do you have those up? I'm trying to find. I know that Liz Miranda was victorious. Ayanna Presley. For the let's see. Oh, I have him right here. Elizabeth Warren won hers.
Yeah, she won early.
Richard Neal won his. Jim. Oh, he is the District 1.
Okay.
And Massachusetts District 2 U.S. House was Jim McGovern. He won. He's a Democrat. So we did good overall here. Bill Keating. State employees. We have. Let's see. This is a very comprehensive. Liz Miranda won hers. I'll just name the people that we know. Mm-hmm. Nick Collins won his. He's also a Democrat. Carlos, did our girl Stephanie Everett on the ballot? It doesn't tell me if she won. It says on the ballot Democratic. It doesn't tell me if she won. It just says. Why doesn't it say if she won? I think there was Allison Cartwright won. She's Supreme Judicial Court, Suffolk County Clerk of Supreme Judicial Court. She did win. Erin Murphy lost her Supreme Judicial Court. She was going for that. And we don't know about Steph. Yeah, Stephanie won. Carlos said Stephanie did win.
Thank you.
Stephanie won. Allison Cartwright won. Liz Miranda, Ayanna Presley. We are looking good here in Massachusetts. Keep on applying pressure. Y'all did a good job. Clap hands for you, Massachusetts. Woo. At least we're not a complete dumpster fire.
Yes.
We're going to take a little break and go to a commercial break, and we'll be back, and we'll get into some local news that happened to yesterday night, including a killing in the back of Stashes with a headshot. We'll talk about that when we get back from break. Spark FM Online #1 for
urban and Caribbean music.
#1.
You are enjoying the miracle of radio.
New England's #1 urban Caribbean music. Radio. Spark FM.
In our democracy, your vote matters. Make your voice heard. Get registered. Seek out reliable reporting on the candidates and issues and vote on or before November 5th. Visit vote411.org. This message is furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Finally Home is a must-read step-by-step guide that will equip any first-time homebuyer with the knowledge they need to confidently make informed decisions. This book provides answers in simple and clear terms to most, if not all, of the questions you may have about credit, homeownership, and generational wealth. Finally Home equips the reader with the confidence to be engaged with the home buying process without feeling vulnerable or exploited. Tailor-made Real Estate Easy is not just a catchy hashtag. It is real estate agent and radio personality Taylor Andre's goal. A goal to simplify one of the most challenging processes you will go through as an adult. A goal to educate you properly on credit and teach you the strategies to finding the home of your dream. It is not just a good book or an easy read. It is the secret to a seamless home buying experience.
Moonbox Productions is thrilled to present the Thanksgiving play. Isn't it time we rethink Thanksgiving? That's the question on the table when 4 politically correct performers try to create a new take on the traditional Thanksgiving holiday pageant. Rambunctious, wild, and fearless, the Thanksgiving play serves up history and humor with a steaming side dish of uniquely American hypocrisy. Opening on November 21st and running through December 15th at Arrow Street Arts in Cambridge. Tickets are $45 and are available at arrowstreetarts.org. Pay what you wish options are available at the box office.
Often I hear people talking about how high their electricity bills are. Massachusetts has programs that everyday homeowners pay for, but never look into. Have you ever considered why some homes have panels and others don't? If you have Eversource, National Grid, or Unitil for electricity, you are paying for your neighbors to get panels at no cost. The charges are on the bill. Why not get someone to pay for yours? This program also helps with re-roofing, tree cutting, and electrical upgrades. If you're tired of short-term solutions for a long-term problem, connect with Bakari to find out if your home meets the requirements to upgrade at no cost out of pocket. Save the planet, future-proof your family for power outages, and save tens of thousands of dollars on an otherwise lifelong bill. Mention Spark when you call or text SPARK to 617-833-8940 to get 2 months off your power bill covered if your home gets selected.
JP Morgan Chase is making a global commitment to break down barriers to drive inclusive economic growth all over the world. We believe there is a pressing need to help more people move up the economic ladder. That is why we are investing in communities and people to create an economy that works for all, because no community should be left behind. Right here in Boston, we're focusing that work in Dorchester, Roxbury, and Mattapan, among other neighborhoods, on improving financial health. These efforts aim to address the key drivers of the racial wealth divide head-on. We're here to empower individuals, families, and small businesses by connecting them to the tools that build generational wealth and a long-lasting legacy. Chase is investing in Boston. Chase is investing in you. Visit us at the Mattapan branch at 1617 Blue Hill Avenue, where the team is waiting to help.
Spark FM.
Wizzy boy, make me dance. Daddy, oh, make me dance.
Igniting the airwaves.
Salsa.
Join us on Facebook and Instagram at sparkfmonline.com. Turn us up.
Tell me how you want it, yeah. Call me and I'm over it.
Spark FM.
Have y'all heard this song yet?
No, what's it? Sounds
check this
emo.
out. Check this out.
I was not expecting that.
I like it. But that's what you need in these days. You need a little beat like this to just move.
So you know who this is?
This Jocelyn?
That's Jocelyn.
Jocelyn, the Puerto Rican princess.
This one's called Dámelo.
The Puerto Rican.
I don't know what she's saying, but
She said, give me a little bit of Blanco.
this is her twerk video. This is her twerk song.
I like it. I could twerk today.
Send that to me. I got to go home and twerk today. So.
I like that you said that. In this day and time, you guys have got. I was talking to somebody yesterday. He was like, "I'm voting for whoever makes nicotine or Newports better and whatever." And I was like, "You need to stop smoking." And he was like, "Yo, smoking keeps me sane." And I was like, in 2024, I can't really even knock you for smoking cigarettes.
Right.
People gotta do whatever they need to do to stay sane in this day and time, because you never know what somebody's going through, and that cigarette might have saved your life. So everybody,
Today,
chill.
I was like, oh, Donald Trump won. At least Massachusetts got shrooms. Oh. Oh. It was so sad.
No shrooms for you.
That's where I was gonna go. Oh well, that's the caveat. No, didn't happen. Terrible.
Now any of that. Let's get into we have other news to take care of here in Boston. Shout out to all of our new listeners and followers. I see you guys chiming in. I see you guys coming in. Welcome to Spark FM. Welcome to Saucy and Friends in the Morning. This is what we do. We talk about real life things. We go through the news.
Yeah.
Make sure you know what's going on. Make sure you know what's happening in your town. And if you guys have any stories that you want to submit into us because you think that it should get some amplification, some empowerment, hit us up at sparkfmonline1@gmail.com or info@sparkfmonline.com. 617-272-3387. That was my one. That's all the energy I have for today. So Tony, take it away.
I feel like you breathed out all your breath. Don't take your last breath in here. Anyhow, let's get into this news. Last night, there was a very, very, very unfortunate situation that happened locally. Police investigating after a man shot and killed in Dorchester. So a man was shot and killed in Dorchester Tuesday night, according to Boston Police Department. Around 8:03 p.m., officers responded to 15 Michigan Ave for a report of a shooting. Upon arrival, officers located a 45-year-old male victim suffering from multiple gunshot wounds, and he was pronounced deceased at the scene. The shooting remains under investigation, and no arrests have been made. Do you have a story on that? Because that needs some visual.
I'm looking for one right now.
Yeah, this happened 15 Michigan Ave, so right behind Stashes.
Yep.
When I was driving home after 9, it was still a heavy police presence out in that area.
And it was only one person shot?
One person shot, multiple gunshot wounds. One person.
Damn.
Yeah. We heard through the streets that it was they were like executed or shot in the head,
which is crazy.
Which is really, really crazy and unfortunate. And I think it's crazy that I just said that like that.
Yeah. Like just so normal.
Yeah.
Because that's crazy.
Very
Absolutely.
sad. What else happened in the news last night? Thrilled supporters celebrate the MCAS ballot question passes. Really, really nice. Democrats maintain hold of the Massachusetts congressional delegation.
Okay.
Which is nice. And also question 4, voters rejected legalizing some of the psychedelic substances. So some psychedelic substances. Let's see which ones, because maybe we do have shrooms. With about 87% of precincts reporting 57% of residents voted against the measure, according to the Associated Press. Massachusetts voters rejected the ballot question that would have legalized multiple plant and mushroom-based psychedelics for therapeutic use. With about 87% of precincts reporting, 57% of residents voted against the measure, according to the AP. If it had passed, it would have legalized multiple psychedelic substances. Specifically, the measure would have allowed adults to purchase psilocybin, psilocin, dimethyltryptamine.
Yes, that's right.
Mescaline. I thought that was lettuce. And ibogaine at approved locations for use under the supervision of licensed facilitators. Retail sales, however, would have been prohibited. So you could have had a dispensary. What? No, that's not it. Licensed facilitators. What's that? Like medical use?
People that license people to distribute stuff.
License people to facilitate.
Yes.
But the retail sales would have been prohibited, so you couldn't have a shroom dispensary, right? Right. Okay, I guess. Yeah. Anyhow, so that was that. Somebody said that they call the ballot question poorly written and misguided. They said their coalition, the Coalition of Safe Communities, included organizations representing over 60,000 physicians and psychiatrists nationwide who were in support of this. I'm surprised. Well, I've recently become surprised by the number of people that I hear use shrooms, and they say like they have to microdose to stay even, and I feel like that's just something that's really, really needed right now.
You want to do some shrooms so
like,
bad.
I mean, there's different ways, you can take little.
Unlike, I was talking to my friend Corey was explaining to me the other day, and he was like, it kind of like unlocks your.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. I've
you should just be how I am right now.
Child.
Have a little.
Did you have Hennessy?
I did. I had a full cup of it.
Oh. Well, you're zooted and booted, my G.
For the people that have ever done shrooms before, shrooms unlock your brain, and they like it reconfigures it into like.
Yes, like unlocks. Really I think he said it unlocks your subconscious and it frees your psyche.
But for people who are a little tapped, why would I want my unconscious to be released?
No,
that's crazy.
It like fixes it. I can't describe.
Oh, it like
this, like
it goes back like and that. Reconfigures.
Yes,
it's like that. It's like a puzzle.
Okay,
take the puzzle and you put it back how it's supposed to be, and it's like
a Rubik's cube.
Yeah.
Jesus. I'm sorry, the views expressed here on these two individuals. I don't know what's happening.
Anyway, that was the local news.
That's it.
That's it. I didn't feel like it.
I do have something up here. Do I still have it? Yes. It says Kamala Harris is expected to concede her address, so this is.
She should fight it, and she should attack the Capitol.
Demand a recount.
Literally.
Demand a recount.
She could.
She can't. I think it got to be within like 15,000 votes or something like that.
Don't say the numbers.
So here goes the news. Soon become the home of J.D. Vance. Last night was quite a dramatic scene as we were at Howard University. Kamala Harris's alma mater there. It started as a night filled with joy and optimism, but quickly that evaporated as the returns started coming in, and it was obvious that the trajectory was not in her favor there. Many people ultimately becoming quite silent, watching the returns come in late in the evening as they were hearing one victory for Donald Trump after another. You heard a chant from some in the crowd there saying music, music, and the DJ ultimately muted the giant television screen there, turning on music instead, as if to sort of boost the mood of the crowd as they waited to hear from Kamala Harris. As we just heard from Garrett, ultimately she did not speak last night. Instead, we heard from a campaign co-chair saying that she would address her supporters and the country from Howard University at some point later today. At the end of the day, though, this is going to be a major reckoning for Democrats to sort out exactly what happened here. Certainly, Kamala Harris faced some significant headwinds. Exit polls now showing that about 2/3 of Americans say they were either dissatisfied or angry with the state of the country, effectively saying that the country.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh, wow. But in some good news here in Massachusetts, for the first time in 14 years, no slow zones anywhere on Orange Line for the first time. Wow. Yes! The MBTA reports it's finally cleared the last of the seemingly perpetual slow zones on the Orange Line this weekend, letting riders feel the full oomph of a speed limit reaction. Trains for the first time since 2010, ending the days when wood-paneled Orange Line trains always lost races to snails and turtles at Forest Hills between Tufts and Back Bay. This is Adam on his thing right now, and I can't.
What are you talking about?
Adam sometimes gets very poetic in his reporting. So let me just read the actual point. During the 7 days of unencumbered access to the area of the Orange Line, work crews replaced nearly 17,500 feet of rail and 2,600 ties. During the 30-day Orange Line shutdown in 2022, crews replaced only 6,000 feet of rail and about 29 ties. So basically, they have fixed everything, and the Orange Lines are lit.
I feel like the Orange Line was never the major problem.
It was always the red line that we heard.
The red line.
And I feel like the Orange Line is older than the red line, and it just, you know.
Well, no. The Orange Line is newer. Remember, because a lot of those Orange Line stations, they took down the tracks and all that stuff. So the Orange Line is newer. So I don't think that that's ever been the problem. I think when they talk about Massachusetts has the oldest transit system, they're talking about the red line.
Yes.
That's it. That's all they're talking about. So thank you for doing that. However, speaking of Orange Line, and just because I'm going to send y'all to hell because we're already there, video shows an 84-year-old woman fall on an MBTA Orange Line escalator in Boston. Horrible.
What?
If y'all laugh, you're going to hell.
Oh, what the hell?
Why'd you turn around?
Oh, no.
Not today, Jesus.
All right. Here goes the video.
If you laugh, you're going to hell. Immediately.
Wow. Here goes the story.
Yes.
In pain more than 2 weeks after she fell on an MBTA escalator.
It's a story you'll only see here on WBZ News. Tonight we have new video from the MBTA that shows the moment she fell. Eleanor when she got off the train at Tufts Medical Center station, the elevator was out of service. You can see her look around. Harris says she tried to find a T employee. When she doesn't see one, she gets on the escalator with her walker. But then the escalator knocks her walker into her and she falls backward. Another passenger runs to help her. Harris says soon a T employee did come to help, but the video ends before that. Harris tells WBZ she fractured her spine.
The pain is horrible. And I can't get out of bed. That's why I'm in a hospital bed. I can't do anything.
Today, Harris told WBZ that she has filed a claim with MassDOT after the incident. She said passenger safety is their priority and that this experience was unacceptable.
They better rename the T after her.
Boy,
I
tell you.
Crazy?
So what happened is the elevator wasn't working, so she had to still get up, so she decided to take the escalator?
She went on the escalator with her walker.
Oh, yeah, well.
That walker did it, boy.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
The Orange Line.
Real quick, shout out to Black Dollar. They are designers of the shirt.
Yes, they're very, very nice.
They are also listening to
I meant to wear my Black Dollar shirt today.
So shout out to them.
I wore my Black Dollar shirt last night.
Yeah,
just
your sweater yesterday.
Yeah.
You had it yesterday on.
I had it on?
Mm-hmm.
You weren't here.
Yeah.
Yesterday, right?
No, I had a Biggie yesterday.
You had the purple one.
For Election Day, I had on Biggie Smalls.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah.
What day is it? Oh, it was Monday then.
Wednesday. Monday, yes. Mm-hmm.
Are you guys okay?
I'm okay.
The hell?
I'm not okay. No.
Okay. No. I'm not. Honestly, I'm not.
God.
I'm not okay. Shit.
Are y'all okay out there? Like everybody out there, in the comment section, because I see a lot of you guys. Just on a scale of 1 to 5, I know that a lot of people feel like, it's not that big a deal, but some of us are really just kind of confused. And I think on a scale of 1 to 5, how are you guys doing? Like just a mental health check-in, like seriously on a level. If you guys want to call in and just vent, 617-272-3387. It doesn't have to be about the election. It could be anything. Like it's very much understood that right now it's a very confusing time. Like it's very weird. Like, you know that you here, so nothing really is gonna happen. But you're just like, how could it happen? How did it happen again?
Yeah.
And I knew it was a very big possibility, so I was never that confident. But how could it happen again? It's crazy to me how this could happen again.
I saw somebody post something just now, and it said, "First time I was anxious, and this time I'm angry."
Yeah, I'm angry.
And I think that's what it is for a lot of people. Like, it's just like for people who have sense, right? Like, this is all just so senseless, and it's really, really, really too much. It's almost like being in the Twilight Zone. Like, what is really happening here? Right. Larry says he's waiting for the next police shooting. And this is what I was saying to Sauce this morning. Why I'm upset is because I believe that Donald Trump and his followers and his people are going to do the things that he said he's going to do. And that is just a very, very scary thought for me, that we have gone that far, that there is just no intellect left in what is happening in this country. There's no intellect left in who is running this country, and it's just really, really sad to me and scary. It's a scary thought. A scary thought.
I don't know if the phones are working. I'm sorry, because I know a couple people trying to call in, and I don't know if they are. It's off the hook. I just put it back on there. Hello. Hello. Hi. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hi, Jaquetta. How are you?
Hi, Jaquetta.
I am in a space this morning.
You have been following this. Jaquetta is on Tuesdays here at Spark FM, Politics and Prosecco from 1 to 3 on Tuesdays. And I know it's not a Tuesday, but we felt that it was necessary to have you call in just to give your take on all of this. Like, we're trying to get through the show, but it's emotional. So how are you doing? And what's up?
You know what I feel like? I feel like you ever love somebody and they break your heart and they leave you for like a very basic, like, chick.
Yeah.
And you can't understand why, because you're like, wait a minute, I'm coming to the table with all this stuff and you want basic Betty? But that's how I feel.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yep.
And so for me, as I'm watching the exit polls come in this morning, and we're seeing the breakdown of who voted for him, it's the same people. It's the Latinx community, higher amongst Latinx women than men, which is interesting. And also, white women voted for him in astronomical numbers. That's not a surprise. There's no shocker there.
Yeah.
And for me, this woman had 4 months to run a campaign against a man who had been running for 4 years.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
and he had more at stake because he didn't want to send his racist ass to jail.
Yep.
So he had put as much vitriol in the air. She could not combat that in real time because she was trying to put out policies. She was trying to make sure her message was clear and doing media in 4 months where he had 4 years to do.
That
and
really
it's
puts things into
unfortunate.
perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The other part is what we have to take accountability for, meaning we as Democrats or those who are liberal, is we don't run campaigns based on the future. We ask for people to vote for the future, but we still run very stagnant campaigns. We go into states that we think are going to be beneficial to us because they have higher electoral vote numbers, but we aren't actually digging deep and having conversations. We also are not holding accountable Democrats who've been in office for 150 years and have not come out to endorse. And so for me, we need to start shaking the table at folks who look like us, meaning black and brown elected officials, and people in power who've been there too long. You cannot be successful in your position after 10 years. You just can't. And Congress has a bad habit of being in power too long, but they don't know anything else but. And I'm going to give you a very good example of that. Ed Markey has been in the state legislature and on the federal level for more than 40 years.
Yep. More than 40 years.
And he's running again, and he's 80-something years old. Now, tell me what an 80-year-old man is going to be able to relate to a 22-year-old kid coming right out of college. He can't relate. But we're not holding those people accountable. So what I think we need to do as a Democratic Party is to start shaking the base up, cutting it up, telling these folks, get out the way, or we're going to take your seat away from you. You can't just go after Republicans.
Yep.
What Republicans did in 2008 when they started turning their base red, they got rid of moderate Republicans who actually had some sense. And they put in radical folks who believed what they believed. Democrats will die in office. I got terminal cancer, but I'm going to sit here and stay in this position instead of tapping somebody in their community that's younger, more hungrier and ready.
Hello.
So that they can then teach them, this is what my legacy is going to be, and you're going to take that into the next century or the next decade or the next chapter or whatever it is. We don't do that. So now we have an aging Congress who the average age of a congressional person is 72 years old.
Are you serious?
How are they relating to us? So I think there's a couple of factors that happen. I'm disappointed. I'm heartsick. But at the same time, we own some of this shit too. Because the moment they started attacking her blackness, we should have banded together and shut that shit down. Oh, I'm all swearing and stuff.
That's fine. You're passionate. You was passionate.
We should have shut that down. And when he was talking about black men voters who were voting for him, I had to be very clear last night. It is not all black men that were voting for him. It is a small segment of non-voting black men.
Yep, non-voting.
It was a small segment of black men who were bitter and could not get out of their own cycle of poverty that could relate to him.
And they was loud. They was strong and wrong. Hello.
The slave mentality.
Say that.
That slave mentality is still real. Here you are, a convicted felon. You can't get a job, but you're going to elect somebody who's a convicted felon too, who put in place that you can't get a job. How does that even make sense? So the stop and frisk, they're going to feel it there because this man has been on record saying he is going to put back in place or empower the police to continue to do stop and frisk. I have a black brother. My father is black. I date black men. I don't want to see them hurt. But if you voted against your own interests, I can't do anything but sit on the sidelines.
Because I'm not marching.
And black women have led movements in this country for decades. And one of his key advisors, Trump's key advisor, said, "Oh yeah, we intentionally went after black men." And it's basically saying because they knew that they would hold water for them. You have black folks right here in this city who will carry water for white elected officials who only come around to churches and other events during election time.
Say that.
When was the last time you saw Ed Markey in Mattapan, Danny? When was the last time you saw him there? Exactly. But he was in Roxbury at Trust Baptist this Sunday clapping and having a tambourine.
He was there the other day.
So that's what I'm saying is like we have to shake the tables, and that includes folks who look like us and are in these positions of power who aren't doing anything to move the needle forward.
Oh my gosh.
I appreciate you, Jaquetta.
Thank you so much.
We'll be tuned in next Tuesday to feel your full commentary, and we'll be looking for you online. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Blessed day, honey.
Try to have some great day.
Under his eye.
His eye.
Oh, that's what I posted first thing this morning. Okay, ladies, let's get information. Go put on your Handmaid's Tales gear. By race, white men were 39% to 59%. White male voted Trump 59%. White women voted Trump 52%. Black men voted Trump only 20%. So again, it is a very handful of black males that were out there wrong and strong, being all ignorant and indignant, and screaming Trump at the part. What hurts me the most is that the overwhelming amount of black men that did support her or did just support not him, now has to suffer at the hands of these very few loud and strong. So big shout out to you black men who went out there and understood the assignment and who have vowed to continue to protect your loved ones, especially the women in your lives. Kudos and shout out to you. I know that in my circle, I do feel protected, and I know that I never have to worry about that. So just a round of applause to the black men who are out there really just understanding that this is just more than about your ability to carry a gun.
You know what was so sexy to me yesterday was I had conversations with a few black men who like voted early.
Yep.
For real.
I voted last week.
I had to get that, take care of that real quick.
So,
my God.
in all of this controversy, I just wanted you black men out there to know that you are appreciative. You are appreciated for doing what you do, and it is not go overlooked. And these weirdos that are around you guys, we see what's up.
Yeah,
we get it. Black men, so black women, 92% Kamala Harris, 7% the other guy, and that 7% of black women out there, disgusting. You guys are horrible. I am judging you. Shame. Shame. Shame on you. Shame, shame, shame on you.
Oh my
shame
God.
on you. I wholeheartedly judge you. Delete me, block me. I don't care. Shame on you. I don't respect your political position at all. Latino men, 54% of Latino men voted for Donald Trump. 54 per blood clot said.
They didn't know who they was voting for.
54 tequila. El Trump. They got. I will say that they have a song out there, a theme song. It's called Trump Advance, baby. Trump Advance, baby. I only know it because Amber Rose stars in it. It is this big Latino guy with the mad tattoos that ride around in their trucks and their big wheelers. It's called Trump Latinos on TikTok.
Child.
Trump Latinos on TikTok, and
I saw them in Idiocracy.
Bro, I went through the rabbit hole. Good beats, good production, good little songs. But bro, that one right there, I think it's a video. You'll see it. Keep on going. Latino woman. 37% Donald Trump, 61% Kamala Harris, which I was very, but those 37 women, those 37%, I don't have nothing to say because I only have very big stereotypes that I want to say right now, but I will say them because in jest, y'all don't believe in contraceptives anyway, so I understand how you feel about abortion. So I'm not surprised by those
It's never their problem.
Yeah, y'all by the age of 27, y'all have 27 kids.
Yeah.
Like I get it. So a little judgment there, but that's, I don't know. That was a joke. Just like how they said that Puerto Rico was trash and y'all went out and voted for Trump, y'all got to give me the same grace. And then all other races, pretty much 50% Kamala, 45% Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It has. I think it says off. L1. All right. Sorry, everybody, if you're calling in. Okay. All right, let's open. Hello, caller, you're live. Spark FM Online. Hey. How are you?
I don't know right now. You all should think about these kids that are turning 18 under this regime that is in house now. And have a license or turning 16. My grandson. I fear for him.
Oh yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
With jackass that you call for police out here,
Yeah.
It's scary. It's scary.
Yeah.
So
it is. It's very scary.
Let's just keep the faith.
Yeah.
And that the years will go by fast. Yeah. Hopefully.
And he can't run again.
Yeah. So he's done.
Hopefully.
Right.
I hope so.
If he don't done away with voting.
You're right.
Exactly.
You're
because
right.
I don't think that he's gonna leave in 4. But we'll see how that goes.
It's not gonna be. It's gonna be another insurrection because he's not gonna leave.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Bye.
Spark FM, 617-272-3387. Call back. We got a lot of calls. We do have 2 phone lines, but there's a lot to get y'all to call both. So just call the first one and just wait. Spark FM Online, you are live.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to call to say that our ancestors did not die so that we could vote. Our ancestors died so that we could read and so that we could have a promised land. And most of us don't read. We just watch the news and that's it. But you must read and verify your facts because it is Biden who built his career on mass incarceration. It is Biden who filed every crime bill in the United States and started stop and frisk.
Hold on one second. I do want to just make a quick point. Biden was not on the ballot, so I'm not sure why we're speaking about Biden.
Well, because a caller just called in and said, "Oh, well, Trump's in now; they're going to be doing stop and frisk." But no, it is Biden and the Biden administration that
the Biden
started
administration
stop and
was
frisk.
absolutely not on this ballot, and he was not in the election.
You need to Google Biden. You need to Google Biden, and you need to read his history that he caused black mass incarceration.
You do understand that Biden was not on the ballot, so we did not vote for Biden.
I understand that, but I'm just saying.
If you understand that, I'm not showing why I'm Googling Biden because he's no longer the president as of January something.
Just had a caller who just called in.
And she talked about Trump, who was elected, and Biden was not on the ballot, so I'm not sure what we're speaking about Biden.
Okay.
But you have a good day.
I'm
all right. Hello. If you guys are calling to talk about Biden was elected in 2020.
And Project 2025 is saying that they're trying to implement stop and
Spark
frisk.
FM, you are live.
Ross, cause I can take America. I hate the fact that people really didn't get out there.
What?
Young generation is lazy. I hate TikTok. I hate social media. I hate StockX. Listen, we had opportunity to change history. And the problem is we didn't take full advantage of it.
Yeah.
A lot of men run to their mothers to get assistance and support, and we can't even get a woman in office to run our world, and that's who really runs the world. So I can't take this shit. I'm moving to Haiti.
Me too. Me too.
I don't know if you want to. Okay. All right. Thank you. Spark FM online. You can call us up 617-272-3387 if you want to just vent, if you have something to say. Comments in the thing. Nafa says she clearly doesn't read either because Biden did that as a senator and he was backed by black pastors who were trying to save the streets with no hindsight to how it would hurt people. I do want us to just kind of put a disclaimer on the phone calls. It's not that I don't want everybody to have the right to speak, but if you are going to speak here, you have got to stay on topic and you have got to focus. We are not talking about Biden. We are not talking about Obama. Okay. That is not who was on the ballot yesterday. Yeah. And I do not want to be rude to you, but stick to topic. Spark FM online, you are live.
Yeah, tell that idiot to go and see what is in the 25 that
Project 2025.
Yeah, she's going to read that if she really can read.
My problem is somebody with her is that she's not even understanding of where we're at. Reality is not even set in.
No, she's not. No, she's not.
I think people
I don't know what's wrong.
People will tell you that they go and read, but they're only going to read something to support what it is that they
exactly.
They
read, but they don't understand what they read.
Right. Well, I think so she wouldn't read that. You know what I mean? Like she's not going to look up that. She's going to look up or search for whatever it is what her ideals are. She's not going to look from the other side or whoever, not just her. So it's, like they're not going to look from the other side. They don't care about that. They just want support for what it is. But you're right. She does need to read. You need to read everything.
She needs to read. She needs to read.
Absolutely.
And thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tony.
Yes.
Damn Biden. Boy, I talk about stuck in the past, people reading the wrong thing.
Yeah.
You need to Google Biden. Why? Because what is Biden doing?
Because Biden was Kamala Harris to
so many people that it was just a literally continuation.
Right.
Like Biden, like it was the movie Ghost. Biden enveloped into Kamala's body, and that's what they think that happened. And I think that is bizarre thinking in the day after election.
Yeah. But let's go back to what Carlos said on Tuesday when he was talking about this is our time. Strap up, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
I want to stress everybody, you should go out there and definitely get licensed around this time.
Yeah.
This is not our country. These people want it back.
Yeah.
Caller, you're live, Spark FM.
Hello, good morning, Spark FM. This is Chief from Mattapan.
Good morning, Chief.
And Miss Tony, thank you for being there this morning. Thank you for doing that. I'm just having a having a late rising today. You know.
How you feeling, black man?
Well, it's interesting. Yes, I'm like, still in shock, but I think, I'm a pretty positive and optimistic person.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is going to be very interesting and complex and all that. At the same time, there's going to be opportunity. And I think we all have to kind of focus on that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I think black folks need to be more aware and study and research white American culture.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that we all understand more. I think we've all become complacent and felt like we don't have to really learn or study much, but these are the reasons why. We were all kind of dealt a blow culturally, and it's going to continue to be significant.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we all have to kind of do a check and figure out, what our futures look like. At the same time, I think it's extremely important to stay positive and understand that there will be opportunity for community and for all different types of building, coming in.
I am excited about that. I am excited about the possibilities that come out of being kind of squished when you feel like you can't move, and you start reaching out and finding community and finding your tribe, and you guys start building momentum and doing dope shit. So those are the type of things that I thank you for saying, because there's going to be a lot of opportunity that comes out of oppression.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's what I have to look forward to here. It's pretty weird, but I got to look for something. Look forward to something here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
And I think we're all going to have to start kind of doing that. And it might mean that some of us are a little more exclusive with our time and our social activity or whatever it is.
Yep.
But I think if maybe the other side is that people do realize how fortunate we are to live in America and all the things that come with it, and maybe people start putting it together a little better and trying to build better lives in the face of these type of obstacles.
Right.
Thank you so
Blessings
much.
to you, Spark FM. Blessings.
Thank you. Bye.
617-272-3387. If you just want to jot things down in the comment section, or if you just want to call and vent, give a ray of sunshine, a silver lining, if you just want to be angry, all of that. Just focus. Any entertainment news, anything that we can be excited about?
Let's see what's in the entertainment news. Dodger fan who lost his fingers at the fireworks after fireworks blows up in his hand.
Okay.
Well, that's not a happy story. In downtown LA. So that happened, and I'm sorry that happened to you. Woman tries to sell her newborn baby for $150 on Facebook.
Oh, how'd that work out?
I'm not quite sure.
This is entertainment?
This is not. Peanut the squirrel still in the news, and a New York airport went into mayhem after a raccoon fell through the ceiling. So that's that stuff. Dr. Dre's restraining order was terminated. Remember the man?
Good for him.
The restraining order was terminated because they said he only attacked him once. He needs to do it 2 more times.
He was able to get one.
Yeah, but they dismissed it because he didn't. They said that Dr. Dre didn't threaten him enough.
Oh.
So they took the restraining order away.
Which is crazy. That's crazy.
That's what happened.
The law is an absolute and complete joke.
Wait, on his therapist.
Yeah, his therapist. Remember we were talking about the therapist was suing him because he said he has all of these text messages from Dr. Dre threatening him. And the judge determined that it wasn't enough of a threat to warrant a restraining order.
Why do you want to, hurt his therapist?
Because the therapist was taking the ex-wife's side and encouraging the children to take the ex-wife's side.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Terrible. Yeah.
That's what it was.
That's what he said.
So that was terminated by Dr. Sylvie.
Oh, good. Lil Scrappy has another baby with the woman he said that he wasn't having a baby with. After Erica, his first baby mama, who had gotten back into him after being disrespected by his mother and his other baby mother. was vouching for him and they was going on vacations and stuff like that, and then come to find out that he had another baby on the way, even though he denied that baby up until he can't. What? So congratulations to Scrappy. Scrappy has brought it good for him.
Men.
All right, Scrappy.
Men.
Everybody's excited.
Scrappy Doo.
Speaking of that, yesterday there were rumors going around that Jim Jones has married Brooke somebody from Lovin' Hip Hop Wives.
Boy, I tell you, if that's true,
awful.
Chrissy must feel like the way that America feels right now.
Yeah.
Like that is hoodwinked and bamboozled.
Yeah, that's what they said. That's the rumors. It hasn't been confirmed, but that was big news. You know, him and Chrissy just broke up in September. Less than 2 months ago.
2 months. I didn't even know they broke up.
Oh yeah, we talked about it.
We did?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Oh, that's terrible.
Around the time he was fighting the man on the elevator in the airport. Remember?
Oh yes.
So they broke up, and so they broke up 2 months ago, and now there's these rumors that he married this one within 2 months.
And he never married Chrissy. Never.
And Chrissy asked him to marry her.
Yep, she did. She
They've
was the
been
first one
together
that
20 years, right? Yeah, that's wild work.
That's wild work. Something that we did miss over the weekend was Wayniana. Lil Wayniana, Weeziana, or something like that.
Okay.
Lil Wayne celebrated his 25th anniversary of his Hot Boys or something, whatever, and he had a big reunion tour with, with all of
Cash
them.
Money.
Cash Money millionaires taking over for the 305.
The Hot Boys. This is Lil Wayne, Juvenile, BG, and Turk. And Turk, Turk has had a bad relationship with the rest of them for quite some time. So the fact that he was actually able to join them was really dope.
Oh, that's really nice.
It looked like it was full of wonderful energy, and they did all of the classics. And
he had his own Super Bowl.
Yeah, pretty much.
Very nice.
He did go on to say how he does feel like the Super Bowl was stripped away from him. When the first Super Bowl was here, I made sure I bought tickets at the beginning of the season. And I did the same when I moved to Miami and wishing my team made it. And guess who made it that year? Them MF Saints. I was able to give my mama the suite, and she was able to bring my family and other people from New Orleans, and they had an effing ball. The moment I said to myself, I want to be on the stage at the Super Bowl one day in front of my mom, Wayne said. And I worked, the rapper continued to tell the crowd that he had always worked hard to eventually perform at the Super Bowl stage. And I worked my ass off to get that position, and it was ripped from me. But this effing moment right here, they can't take that, man. They can't take that from me. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for yourself for being amazing, Lil Wayne continued. I feel bad about that. I gotta have some emotional.
Did he tell his mama, or did he tell his people? Because he said he told his mother that. Maybe he should have put it out there, and then
I feel like maybe they could have done a little co-headlining, like Lil Wayne and.
I still don't feel like Kendrick Lamar would not plan to have Lil Wayne be a part of that.
I think that, the same scenario. I think that Lil Wayne might turn the shit down because he's not headlining it, because he's already made some big deal about it. He's been snubbed for it.
He can't. He has to stay on that. He can't accept the invitation.
Maybe I'm hoping that ego steps aside and the dream of you being on the Super Bowl stage.
Honey, what are you talking about? This is America. Ego doesn't step aside.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
I have a little bit of footage from the show real quick. Let me see if I can pull it up. Yeah. Right.
I want to be on stage for the Super Bowl one day in front of my mom. And I worked my ass off to get that position.
Is it too?
It's ripped away from me. This motherfucker right here.
KKK.
So he addresses a snub.
What's that?
He said they can't take that away.
They can't take that moment that he's there with the Hot Boys and the BGs.
Yeah, I heard it was really cool. I would have
twerked my booty
off.
Oh
my gosh, Cash Money! As soon as that intro came on, I would have assumed.
Cash Money for the 99 and 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, when the watcher went to Papa.
Oh my!
But I'm holding the hand.
Wow!
Got money in the Papa.
This Kodak Black story.
Yes. Did you? So Kodak Black was on with Kai Cenat yesterday, and in the video or in the broadcast, he took out a Percocet and threw it in the air and took it, and then quickly, as quick as the edible kicked in for me this morning, he started going down.
Here we go.
Do you see it?
Yep.
Look. So he took more than one.
That was a glitch for the Twitch. Sometimes you can't always say it, but at times when it feels good, that's when you say it.
Look at his eyes.
Yeah. Hop on that track. She said, "You want to suck for me?" I said, "No, I don't want it. I don't want sex. I don't want sex."
Oh wow.
What?
Ain't that a violation of his probation?
Wow.
Where'd he go?
For the people listening online, Kodak Black is just
losing his mind.
Yeah.
Here he is rapping to the spin wheel. He's just kind of
I feel him though.
wow.
Oh, now he don't got no shirt on. Clothes, sir.
Shirt go. So Kai said that why he let this keep going on.
Wow.
When this man removed his article of clothing upon his body, Kai should have been like, "All right, well,
show's over."
Isn't Kodak on probation?
That's what I just said. Isn't that a blatant violation of his probation? Who cares?
He clearly ain't on the probation that Young Thug is on because that would have gave him 20 to life.
Child, listen.
Boy,
wow.
I don't know. Larry, he can't be crack. He had to be fentanyl.
Pardon Kodak Black. Ain't he one of the ones?
He did. He is.
So he's like, I can do whatever I want on the TV. Nobody will care.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pray for the
So Ella Mai and Jason Tatum, she pronounces her love for him in a very cool way.
Good.
She put a number 3. She tattooed a number 3 behind her ear. That is the number that he wears on the Boston Celtics, and that is her ode to him, to Jason Tatum.
Oh,
and that's beautiful.
Good for you.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
You don't have that sound effect. Oh, good for you.
I gotta find that one. I gotta get that one.
I'm finding beautiful love stories, okay? Because Big Meech switches up his look a little bit after his release from prison.
Oh.
Let's see what he looked like. He was a nice looking young gentleman. He's got a big shoulder blade, but you know, it is. Oh, Kodak Black. Those are the people
Was
that.
Terry in real life as fine as the Terry in the show?
Because Terry in the show is fine,
Oh, he got some veneers.
Oh, wow. You know, that makes sense to get a new.
As long as they don't look like them ones that guy had on Love and Hip Hop. Remember those chiclets?
No, that was Conscience, and I think his mouth is like, that's his teeth. Conscious got teeth that come out the mouth instead of stay in the mouth.
He's got a obnoxious overbite.
Imagine him.
Outer bite.
Imagine him.
No.
Performing on to you. That's terrible. Oh, let's see. Big Meech. He's getting some new veneers. Oh, his teeth needed them. He needed them. Oh, you could get them. You could get them. I ain't mad at you.
Everybody better go out and get what they getting today before the stores say whites only tomorrow. I saw that meme and I thought that was hilarious.
That is funny.
Still got it.
Look at him. He still got braids. Oh wow.
Still got money.
Yeah.
A Maryland woman faces charges for allegedly dismembering her mother and attempting to grill her remains. Is that story that we had talked about that one time?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
That's
no, but this
awful.
is new one because this one is facing charges. This was happening in this was 11/2/2024. This was just a couple of days ago. Prosecutors have accused the Maryland woman Candace Craig of murdering her mother Margaret Craig, dismembering her with a chainsaw, and allegedly attempting to burn the remains in a backyard fire.
Nobody. All
right. So guys, I don't know what to tell y'all.
It's time.
Yeah, it's time. It's 10:59 and we got to go out of here because the best damn midday show with Bobby Steels and Sweet Tea is up next. I do implore you guys to go just take a breather, maybe log off for the rest of the day and just kind of sit with yourselves and the Lord.
It's nice outside.
It is 7. Oh, yes. Sorry. I didn't even get into that. It is going to be 78 degrees today.
You know why? Because hell is freezing over.
Go
and
outside.
It's November.
And it's
It'll be about to be 75. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's almost Thanksgiving. We're going to have a Thanksgiving outside on the patio.
Thanksgiving in the sun.
Yeah. It's going to be wonderful. All right. Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. You guys have a great day. Goodbye.
What is this, Doctor?
This is
Well, Spark of New England, Spark FM. Bringing the heat back to the airwaves. Turn us